Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also apologies if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it can't be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2024 related video here on my channel, and it is time for what has become something of an annual tradition on my channel. Why blank should win Eurovision whatever year it is. And I believe I have been filming these videos for a good few years now. It was the Netherlands in 2019. That is the most watched video on my channel thus far, when I have far less subscribers than I do now. It is remarkable how well that video has fared over the years. The Netherlands did win, of course. In 2020 the contest was cancelled, but I spoke about Switzerland anyway. It was Italy in 2021, they went on to win, Måneskin of course. In 2022 it was Greece and Sweden, they both finished in the top 10. And last year it was Finland who won the public vote and finished second overall. These videos are never predictions, that needs to be made clear right now. Really, it is just a case of me sitting here rambling on about why I think a particular country, artist and song should be in with a real shot of battling for victory at the upcoming edition of the ESC. And today, in video 1 of 3 like this year, I am talking about Switzerland, again, as I did a few years ago. Switzerland are the current favourites to win as I speak to you now, represented by Nemo with The Code, and we are all familiar with this track, of course. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on anything I discussed today by leaving a comment down below. Please be respectful of what I say, and I will be respectful of your comments too. And as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So, of course, Switzerland have won twice. On home soil at the very first ESC in Lugano in 1956, and then again in the late 1980s with Celine Dion, who has gone on to have a stellar career. Nemo, let me load this up here. Nemo Metler was born in August 1999. They're 24, non-binary, and they've released 4 EPs to date, including one in September 2022. That's their most recent release, as well as many singles. The Code has charted at number 22 so far in Switzerland, apparently, but they have had a top 5 hit in 2017 with Do. They've also collaborated with a couple of musicians and won many awards, including Best Live Act and Best Breaking Act at the Swiss Music Awards in 2018. Now this song, The Code, Switzerland were flying under the radar. We knew that they were going to have an internal selection, and then when the song came out, everybody was like, oh, that's not half bad. You know, a country just coming up out of the blue with what has now become the favourite to win. It says here, Nemo has stated that the song details their realization of their non-binary identity, stating that realizing they are non-binary has given them freedom, and that by entering Eurovision they can stand up for the entire LGBTQIA+ community. According to them, when accepting that they didn't feel like a man or a woman, I had to break a few codes. This song will be heard in the first half of semi-final 2 on that Thursday next month, in about a month's time. Here's one reason why maybe Switzerland should be challenging for the win this year. Number one, we've never had a non-binary act win, I don't think. So that would be quite a nice thing, perhaps, and a sign that Eurovision is an event for everybody, no matter who you are or where you're from. Secondly, this is a very personal track. A lot of songs at Eurovision aren't written by the person performing them, and so there can be this disconnection between artist and song. And sometimes it shows. In this instance, there is a real connection, because this song is about Nemo themselves pretty much. And to me, it feels a little bit like the Belgian entry, but not quite, if you see what I mean. There is this release, this very freeing moment. With Belgium, it comes in the last 40 seconds or so, when it really builds up and there is this emphatic finale. With this Swiss entry, yeah, there is that sort of moment as well, but I feel as though the whole song is very freeing. You know, freedom, as I just said. I'll read it out again. Nemo stated that the song details their realization of their non-binary identity, stating that realizing they are non-binary has given them freedom. It is almost as if this song is Nemo's way of saying, this is who I am now. I'm not going to be kept in a box. I'm not going to play by the rules. This is my true self. And what better way to show off somebody's true self than by being on the Eurovision stage with millions of people watching? This is going to be a really personal, massive moment for this particular musician, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's quite an emotionally charged performance as well. That might really come through. And if commentators explain the story behind this song, that's already a connection with the song that viewers might have, that jury members, maybe if they know the backstory, might have as well. And so you're coming into this performance knowing how personal it is. There is no disconnection between artist and song in this instance, and that's a really nice thing. So some people might say, well, wouldn't it be great if Switzerland won this year because of how personal the song is, and what a release and cathartic moment it is for this particular musician who now feels able to be their true selves and has expressed that in a really big manner on the Eurovision stage in front of millions. It could be a really, really wonderful moment. I've been thinking about how this could be staged, and I think I said this in a previous video. Really, I would start this performance with the camera right in front of Nemo's face, almost in a claustrophobic manner, because they've been kept in this box for so long. I'm done playing the game, I'll break out of the chains. Maybe have Nemo standing there with chains on either arm, and then dish, dish, they're breaking free, and maybe they're moving through these different sets. I can really picture this in my head, but it's really up close, almost claustrophobic. And then as the song builds up, maybe we see Nemo shedding these different outfits, sort of like trying on different things, working out who they're meant to be. And then that big note at the end, the camera pans out, and there is Nemo beaming away, their true selves. They've gone through all of this crap over the years, maybe, trying to work out who they are, trying to feel comfortable in their own skin. Now, there they are in all their glory. That could be a really powerful moment. Some people will really connect with this. Other non-binary people will surely, perhaps, connect with this in a very strong manner. Just taking a look at the lyrics again. Welcome to the show. Let everybody know I'm done playing the game. I'll break out of the chains. You better buckle up. I'll pour another cup. This is my bohème, so drink it up, my friend. It's a very playful song. There is a slight cheekiness to this track. So hopefully that comes through. You know, play up to the camera, really work the camera. That confidence must shine through, and it shows at Eurovision if an artist is nervous or doesn't look totally comfortable with how they're moving or what they're doing. I think about Benny Christo for the Czech Republic a couple of years ago in Rotterdam. Jesus Christ, that fell flat on its damn face. I don't think we're going to get anything like that this time. I think we're going to get, I hope we get, a very confidently executed performance. And it really, really helps. If that confidence is coming through the TV screen, people might feel compelled to vote for you. They really might. And, I mean, that first line, welcome to the show, treat it like a play. Treat it like a theatre production. You know, like I said, keep it up close, and then as it builds and we move on and move on, tell a story. You know, make it like a play, a theatre production. Tell a story on stage, and it could really, really work. Staging is key here. If we don't have much in the way of staging, I don't think Switzerland will win this year. Because there are other major contenders, like Italy, like Croatia, the Netherlands will be up there too. You don't want this to fall flat. You don't want this to be a missed opportunity. This story is my truth. Yes, wonderful. Maybe have lyrics around Nemo as well on the LED screen or something. I went to hell and back to find myself on track. I broke the code. Whoa, oh, oh. I just gave it some time. Now I found paradise. Let me tell you a tale about life. Have Nemo sit there reading a book for a couple of seconds. really ramp up the theatrical nature of this song. It really does come across as dramatic in that sense, theatrical, but don't overdo it, if you see what I mean. Tell a story on stage. Everything is balanced, everything's light. I've got so much on my mind, and I've been awake all night, maybe have a bed on stage then, and he's getting out of bed and waking up and facing the day. I'm so pumped, I'm so psyched, it's bigger than me, I'm getting so hyped. And in the music video, we see Nemo move through these different carriages, and there's a different look and aesthetic every time. Just recreate that on stage. It's a brilliant opportunity to do something very intriguing. And if you have intriguing staging, the audience will be invested. Even if the song is not their cup of tea, they will want to keep watching because they'll want to see how the performance progresses, and they'll want to see how it builds up, and then we have that big moment at the end with the big note. I haven't even spoken about Nemo's vocals yet, but they are strong. Of course they're strong. They're strong in the studio cut. At pre-party performances so far, Nemo has sounded very strong in my opinion. I don't think we need to worry about the vocals with this particular track. And that means points will come Nemo's way in the final, because let's be honest, Switzerland will qualify with ease this year. The juries will appreciate the voice. They'll appreciate the whole package if the staging is bang on the money. Really, you've got to be looking at perhaps over 200 points, maybe even 250 plus, from the international juries in the final. I think that's very, very possible, because really, there's not much to fault here. It's a personal track, potentially with magnificent staging, sublime vocals, and it's trying so many different things. This is another reason, perhaps, why Switzerland should perhaps win this year, because it's not playing it safe. This isn't your bog standard pop song. This isn't a song that just meanders along in a very predictable manner. No, this is flitting between different styles. There's a bit of rap, there's a bit of pop, there's a bit of opera. So whilst, trying on all of these outfits perhaps and moving through these different aesthetics that we may see on stage next month, we're also moving through different genres almost. Nemo is trying different styles of singing to find out which one perhaps they're most comfortable with. I don't really know. It's very, very impressive. Some people might find it jarring. The first time I heard this song, I think I said in my reaction video several weeks ago that I didn't really feel as though it flowed nicely, but I have given the song some time, and now I can really appreciate it for what it is. And I think neutral viewers, neutral listeners who have not heard this song and will be hearing it for the first time next month, if they're captivated within the first 5 seconds, I think they're going to want to stick with this. It's not going to be a case of, oh, it started well, but then it didn't live up to expectations. No, this Swiss entry, I think, starts well, in a sort of playful, cheeky manner, and then it gets better as it goes on. And people will want to keep watching, and people will want to see what happens next. And like I said, that may definitely come through with impressive, theatrical, but not too over-the-top theatrical, type staging. Fantastic. I really don't have much else to say about this. I feel as though I haven't really made too many points at all, but it's not taking, a very simple route here. It's not bland, it's not vanilla. It is taking a little bit more of a gamble and melding these different styles together. It's doing lots of very interesting things, and an audience can really appreciate that. A lot of people tuning into Eurovision, they're not so fussed about the really so half-assed efforts. They're really not. They want to see something wacky. They want to see something original. They want to hear something that is so not like the music they listen to in their personal lives. They want to listen to something, and they want to see something so out there, I think, a lot of the time. And you look at the Netherlands, that's obviously going to do quite well. You look at Croatia, that's obviously going to do quite well. But, as I've spoken about on my channel before, the Dutch track may not get the jury love. The Croatian track may not get the jury love. There's Greece as well, there's Armenia. Maybe the juries won't be terribly on board with those songs either, I don't know. Maybe the public won't vote for those songs in big numbers either. I don't know, none of us do. But Switzerland, it's not too out there. There's still something quite accessible about the code. There's still something that we can grip onto and we're along for the ride. And really, I think the public and the juries will both be on board with this. I can't really see the juries not liking this at all because of the reasons I've already mentioned, and I don't think the public will be really dismissive of this either. I think they're going to enjoy this from start to finish. With a cushy slot in the grand final running order in the second half perhaps, you know that this is going to get points from all corners. Perhaps Australia too, perhaps the rest of the world vote. This is a serious challenger for the win. And I think if Switzerland were to win, I don't think too many people are going to be disappointed about it, because it is the favourite. A lot of people are really loving it. Nemo has performed this very well live so far. We know it's not going to be really poorly done in Malmö next month. We know this isn't going to be a complete disaster. I really can't see that happening at all. It's going to be strong. Hopefully the staging will be fantastic. Everything else is already working very well. You know, it's looking like a very good year for the Swiss. And another reason you could argue why Switzerland should win this year is because they haven't won for ages. And for a long time, this was a country that struggled at Eurovision, not qualifying. Last in one of the semi-finals in 2010. Last in one of the semi-finals in 2016. Last in one of the semi-finals in 2015. This isn't that long ago. And then things changed. It reminds me of the Netherlands. Years in the wilderness. Crap, not doing terribly well. And now the Netherlands are pretty regular qualifiers and doing all right for themselves in the final more often than not. And of course they won in 2019, which a decade before would have been pretty unthinkable. Switzerland have turned a corner. And if Switzerland, and indeed the Netherlands, can do it, so can other countries. That's why I believe Latvia can turn it around sooner rather than later. Georgia, maybe even San Marino, a couple of other countries as well. If Switzerland and the Netherlands can do it, so can other countries. That's the point I'm trying to make here. You can turn around your fortunes. And I think Switzerland want to win, and they've shown over the past few years that they mean business. Luca Hani, John's Tears, Watergun last year wasn't a half bad song. Maybe the result was a tad disappointing, but it still got them into the final. And this year, Nemo with the Code, a major contender. Could it be Bern 2025? It is absolutely possible. Watch this space. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, and this is a real shame, but I wouldn't be surprised if next month, if this song comes out on top, there will be some criticism. There will be people who aren't happy a non-binary musician, perhaps wearing a dress on stage, has won. They'll be appalled by it. No, not for me. How can this possibly win? Blah, blah, blah. There'll be some criticism like that because that's the way social media can be, unfortunately, and the press perhaps as well. But this would be a worthy winner because it's personal, it's taking a risk, it's trying lots of different things, the staging could be excellent, the vocals are bang on the money, it's ticking so many of the right boxes. Is it any surprise Switzerland are leading the betting odds right now? No, not really. Will this song gain momentum over the next few weeks before the contest begins? Perhaps so. The only thing, I think, stopping Switzerland from really pushing for the win this year is if the stagings are let down. Fingers crossed, it's absolutely sublime. Wonderful. And I think you're immediately invested in this. I really do. The way this song starts, I think people hearing this for the first time will be intrigued as to what comes next. And some songs, Eurovision related or not, some songs, you can tell early on where they're going. You know the way a song is going to pan out. With this Swiss entry, you have no idea what comes up next. When that rap part comes in, people hearing it for the first time might be thinking, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And then the opera stuff, I didn't see that coming. You'll want to watch the whole thing because you'll want to know what's coming up next. And if you know the story behind the song, and the staging's bang on the money, as I keep saying, Switzerland could be hard to stop this year. Absolutely. If not the winner, the top 5 may be locked on, I would say. And if I was a gambling man, which I'm not really, first of all, I would not be putting a bet on right now, heavens above no. But yeah, Switzerland might be a fairly safe bet this year. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on The Code by Nemo. Absolutely. I mean, very briefly before I wrap this rambling video up, Italy, generally very strong. But I think other songs are getting more attention at the moment. Croatia, juries might not like it. That could be the killer blow. Netherlands, juries might not like it. That could be the killer blow. Armenia's coming up on the rails. Juries might not like it. That could be the killer blow. Public might not go massive for it. Who knows? That could be a killer blow. Who else is up there in the betting odds? I've completely forgotten. Ukraine. Some people might find it a bit too maudlin. That could be the killer blow. Who else is up there? I've completely forgotten. Well, Switzerland. There they are, sitting pretty in first place. It's well liked. It's a really, really impressive track. This melding of styles. This melding of singing styles, of genres, of aesthetics. You know, to do that in 3 minutes is pretty impressive. And if they succeed in doing this on stage, yeah, I think this could be a real moment. And what a big moment for Nemo themselves, singing this very personal track live in front of millions of people on television, loads and loads of people in the arena too. There's no going back. You know, this is who they are now. They've shown Europe who they are, and I think this is going to be perhaps an emotional and very proud moment for this particular musician, and I wish them well, and I'm sure you probably do as well. Even if this song is not your cup of tea, I say this all the time, even if a song is not really your thing, you can probably still really appreciate / enjoy many elements to a song. So even if you're not really a fan of the melody, you might appreciate the vocals. If you're not really a fan of the vocals, you might appreciate the melody. If you're not really a fan of either, you might like the music video, which doesn't really matter much because we're not voting on that in May. But you know, that's still something you like about a particular track. For me, this isn't a 10 out of 10, it's probably an 8 out of 10. I liked it the first time I heard it. It is currently my number 5 of this year's contest. But it may be the winner. We will soon find out. And if I was working for Swiss television right now, I would be thinking about 2025, next May, and maybe making sure a few arenas are free for potentially staging Eurovision next year. Anyway, a big ramble. These videos usually are, because I'm not entirely sure how to structure them. But that's it. Let me know what you think. I'll be back, most likely with the second instalment in Why Blank Should Win Eurovision 2024. Have I been saying 2023 in this video all this time? I don't even know. I've lost the plot. Anyway, let me know what you think, and hopefully you can respect my opinions as I will with yours. It is not a prediction. This is just me saying this country should perhaps really be challenging for the win this year. And who knows, maybe Switzerland will triumph. Congratulations to them if indeed that happens. Until next time, apologies if there was any lag. In my most recent video, I don't know what happened. I think it was because the website I was on was lagging at the time, but I sounded like a robot for a couple of seconds at a time in that previous video, so apologies for that. Hopefully this video turns out a lot better. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now. Country number 2 coming up soon.